London boys and girls from the UK. And
God
this is
save
how
the
I'm going
king.
to be speaking. The king. Oh, so it is the king.
It's the king,
isn't it?
though. It's the king.
Anyway, we are having our live show on the 29th of April, Saturday.
Yes, at Shoreditch Town Hall.
Very good.
In Shoreditch.
Inside Shoreditch Town Hall. Now, the tickets are going to be released on the 31st of March, payday. So by then, you'll have received money. I don't want to hear any stories, okay?
Just a brief note.
Tidbits.
Our wait list is already about at 1,120 people, and they are going to get access to the tickets first. I repeat, our wait list has 1,120 people, and they are going to get access to the tickets.
Why? Because
first.
those who signed up don't have to heads. Okay?
So, guys, on the 31st of March, Friday, kindly be at hand because we don't want to get
Be
DMs.
online.
We don't want to insult.
Be
we want
online.
to see you people. So
Yes.
please see you there. Again, don't DM me.
Please
don't DM FK.
DM me. I don't have any
DM.
control of the matter.
We don't have any.
Go to the link, buy the ticket. I don't have any tickets. I don't even know what's happening. Okay.
Even if we're not the guests,
We won't attend. So the show is on the 29th of April. Tickets are coming out 31st of March. I wish everybody all the best of luck.
Yeah, and
see you
in London.
See you in London. I don't want to ask you how you are because we're all in a state of dismay after they stole my city. Anyway, how are you guys? We have guests today.
Yes.
Have fun. Shola, are you like going to a church conference?
I'm not in your mood.
Because you're wearing covered shoes and a gown.
I'm wearing covered. I actually came here with slippers. I'm wearing covered shoes because the state of my toes.
Okay. Because I was like, you're wearing a gown.
I'm wearing covered shoes because the state of, and then there are heels because the only other covered shoes that I have. It's been a long time since anybody has shouted color riot.
Do you know what you actually look like? You look like the wife of like the second pastor.
Eh?
Do you know? Yes. Yes. Because the first lady, she's like on pearls and kidding.
I'm the one that...
The wife of the second is like a bit edgy,
one.
you know, fun.
Yeah. I'm the one that tell the young girls,
yeah, oh my God, you can talk to me.
There's fun in Christ.
You can still...
Do you know that there are now rappers
you can
that
still
rap in
be in Christ and look good.
Yeah, I know
That's
exactly
why you look fun.
Yes, like the cool one. So if my name is, they'll be like, you mean Pastor J.O.? And they'll they'll be using your initials.
PJ. That's what I heard. That's what you look like.
PJ is around.
You look super fun. We have the Femme girlies.
Yeah. Do you guys want to introduce yourselves?
Hi guys. So my name is Ayomide and I'm the founder, CEO of Femme.
Mm-hmm.
Hello, I'm Leke and I'm the community manager at Femme.
And I'm Tim Lade and I'm the editor-in-chief at Femme Mag.
Wonderful stuff. Can I just report Leke?
Oh, no. Fake and
I just want to go on a tangent. Leke is like my sister, but do you know that this, in like 2 years, this is the first conversation that we're having on this podcast. Is it good? No. I want to ask.
Should I open my WhatsApp?
Which WhatsApp? I just want to know.
You're a celebrity
Which celebrity? I just want to know if that is how life is. Because now that she's community manager of Femme, we can't see her again. These are the issues at hand that we must discuss as women.
But do you want to tell people what Femme is first before we get into our conversation?
Yes. So Femme is a community and a platform basically to amplify the work that women do. We say that we're trying to leave a cultural imprint because what we see is that a lot of women get lost in like digital media and just media and news in general. Like we've done so much throughout the years. So many amazing women have done stuff and like their stories are just not being told. So we do it like in a variety of different ways. We have Femme Africa that's more so about the music. It's more so about women in creative industries. Then we have Femme Mag, which just archives women's stories quite literally. Like if you're a podcast where like, okay, I said what I said, that was a raining podcast, or this is the raining podcast for years, like talking about stories, like, you know, what being a woman today means for us. And then we have FemFest, which is just basically come, learn, 3 E's, education, entertain, and empowerment. So that's the Femme brand, basically.
But sorry, have our VIP tickets been delivered?
You got a goodie bag.
I always like to start at the top with the most important issues.
Yeah. You're going to really like what's in the boxes.
Okay, I'm so proud of it.
No.
I can't get over it.
Yeah, well, I mean, I think I have a clear, as an OG now. God, people are calling me auntie. It's not funny. It's funny, but it's not funny because I remember the first time I realized there was like a big issue was over Christmas. So my youngest brother has friends that would like, because Jora is actually an introvert. He doesn't like people. My brother will come home and say, I'm not joking. He'll say he's going to 3 events. I'm not joking. He'll say 3 and he will name the 3 for you. And every single year, Bolo and I will be like, I beg, you follow us. Nope. Those three and nothing more. Also, those 3, nothing is stopping him from going. Like everybody in the house, nothing is stopping him. My daddy can say, oh, they are killing people. He will say, okay, no problem. I too will die. Like nothing is stopping him from those 3. But his friends came round and I came down the stairs. I was going somewhere and 4 of them stood up, said, good afternoon, ma. I said, Jesus.
But also, OG Jola, I have one for you.
I was like, am I not wearing? I was like, I'm wearing short knicker. What's going on? What's going on? I'm wearing multiple rings and cleats.
Yeah, forget it.
I was wearing Air Force. She was like, good afternoon, ma. When I said, I think my car is blocking you. I'll help you move your car. Some
of our friends have 2 children. Do you know what I mean? Where we are getting old.
Yeah, we are matured. But yeah, I remember when Femme started, and let me know, like, I didn't know what you were doing. I mean, like, she was just like, oh, you know, she's doing this thing. It's for women. I said, that's nice. I was like, that's a nice one, you know, up girls. Yeah, I love to see it. But then I just thought it was really, really cool how specific you are, because the temptation when you start something in Nigeria is not to be niche. Very quickly, you want to generalize because sometimes you have opportunities that come and the sponsor will say, so why don't you include so that you can get the money? Yeah. And then they now start telling you about all the things you're missing out on by not by insisting on being niche. And I just thought it was really, really cool how you insisted on focusing on women and the work they do, particularly in music and, you know, like the visual arts, I guess.
And younger women
stuff
as well.
Yes.
Because there's so much about like the women that you already know.
Yes, now. So they just double down.
So.
They double down all the time on the ones that already exist. So if you talk about how, the industry needs to do more for women, before you can say Jack Robinson, look at this lady. Look at Timmy. Look at Tenny. And they're all doing well. I said the 3. The top 3 that you mentioned. I said, no. There's also Ira. I said, okay, keep going now. I said, keep going. Give us more than that.
Yeah.
And they can't. But in their minds, once we've made room for 1 or 2,
then it's fine.
Then
you have representation.
Like clearly, there's representation and it's enough. So I think it's really, really cool. How
yes, what I like is that you guys are all like in your team. You're all also very good friends, and I want to get into.
What that is like.
I'm very curious about how what that's like and how that plays out. But before we get into how you started and all of this, people have problems, and we are always well positioned. So let's focus on women's issues.
Okay.
The buzzword for the podcast today is women.
Yeah.
Women.
Let's focus on issues of Femme.
Yes.
Femme issues.
Okay. Okay. So let's start with Fire Spice, who says, hi, President and ballot snatcher. God punish you.
Jola, I just want to say, look at your reputation outside. And you know, I love this scam that has been created. That I am obviously a poised and well-natured individual, and you are a tout. But to be fair, you did say your dream is to drive an Okada.
Well,
so
it also made sense because when I was watching some of those videos, my father was saying, where is the police in all this? I mean, I was thinking, is that not plank near somebody's leg? So I was like, you know what, maybe. Anyway, the person says, I hope you guys are doing great. I'll get straight to it. I have a close friend who is a blabbermouth. I found out late after we had gotten close and it was too late to now push her away. I let her know while narrating stories of some of my experiences with other people that I'm quite private and I'd hate her to take personal things happening in my life to her other friends as gist. I was so stupid to think I'd be an exception. Anyway, I recently found out that she's been talking about things I confided in her to our other friends. And she gives them these stories unprovoked. I also found out she follows any guy I tell her I have a crush on Instagram. I'm so mad at her and I cannot express how mad I am. I've been told to be mature about it since I can't keep pushing people out of my life. But this has only led to resentment and is slowly turning to hatred. She always thinks she's smart about stuff. So even if I bring it up, she'll find a way to spin it in her favor. Jollz and FK, I don't know what to do. Funny thing is, of all my friends, she's the only one that has made a super positive impact on me in terms of personal growth. No, seriously, she's really good in that area. And I actually need help as I'm trying to get my life together. Help me.
Sorry, which area is the personal growth? No, I want to know how she's pushing. She's good in personal growth. Meanwhile, any small thing you tell her, she's going to tell. Look, someone was saying that I should stop calling everybody a criminal, but this is a criminal.
This country is a criminal scene.
This
It's a crime
lady
scene
is a this femme.
No, she's not a femme.
She's definitely a criminal because, sorry, how can you be moving me forward in personal growth? Meanwhile, any small thing I tell you, you're going to tell everybody. Anybody I tell you, I like, do you know what it is to go and follow? Are you a witch?
Why she's
happened to
following?
monitor.
Why
No,
she's
sorry, it's
following?
weird. It's just, it's not even that. I'm not even suggesting that she wants to steal them. It's so weird. Imagine you telling me, oh, you're talking to this guy. Next thing, I'll go and follow him. Kilo day.
Do you know this is
Actually, if I check, what concerns me
This
with
is
following
random,
the person?
but like my best friend is an actual lunatic. So once I tell her I actually like somebody, she won't do anything. If I tell her we started seeing each other, she'll go and follow the person. She'll not be giving me updates. She'll not say, hey, tell him congrats on
I've done that before. I can't do that. On my own personal account.
Looking them up. The last time you told me you were seeing something, I can't lie. I did research. I saw some mutual friends. I messaged them. Is this person a crazy person? Just hear me clearly. I just want to know so that if Kasala bursts, I know the direction that we'll head in. But what, as in, I don't understand.
No, but I know what she means by personal growth. So maybe it's one of those. You know, some people are like super, like they are personal. No, they are personally driven. So they're the kind of friends that if you say so, like FK's factory, for instance, they'll be like, have you heard of these grants? Come and do like, but they are.
So when I get the grant, they'll go and tell everybody.
No, but they're the kind of friends that like some people are just like that. Like they're just very motivating. And they're very driven. And if you are the useless, sometimes they'd have done some of the work to encourage you to start. Like, I brought this thing for you. Have you called that person back?
Fair.
So some people are good like that. But her problem is that this particular Blabbermouth thing is driving her up the wall. I don't know.
So can I say something about this? I think that I've started to learn this very recently. I think that, like, especially if you have a close group of friends, you forget that your individual friendship is not the same as your like collective friendship. And so there are things that happen with good intention, or that someone will say, oh, you know, you just kind of bring up a discussion. It doesn't even have to be anything deep. Something is going on with one friend, and two of you are talking about it with perfectly good intentions. However, the problem is that this person has told you, not necessarily expecting you to go and discuss it with the rest of the group, because they also have access to the rest of the group and they did not tell them. And so this thing happens it happens all the time. And sometimes I'm just like, okay, I know we all have good intentions, but like, how do we stop doing this?
I think the problem is that in friendship groups, none of the friendships are actually equal. So I might be closest to you, and you're close enough to me, but you're closest to Ayomide.
Yeah.
And Ayomide is close enough to you, but she's closest to Tip.
Yeah.
And she, like, so sometimes you know that, oh, we're both friendly with her, and she might have said, you might have told Ayomide, man, I'm having issues with salaries this month, for instance. You've told me, man, business is rough.
Yeah.
I'm going to
now. We are going to dinner and we're riding in the car together. And I'm like, man, I hope FK is feeling better. Now, because we are super close, I mean, they say the salaries are big.
Oh my God. You're just like, okay, the salary.
And I'm like, you're like, the salary.
No, me, I just pretend. Like, I'm like, yeah,
That's
the
what I'm
salary.
saying.
Exactly.
No, you have to. But that's how things are. So
Yeah.
like that conversation is not malicious.
But it happens.
But this one is a bit different.
No, she
because
said unprovoked, but I'm telling you that's what happened.
that's
It was
how
an
it
unprovoked.
is. That's how it
It was
happens.
an unprovoked thing. Or, you know, I might be saying to Leke, man, like, I've been trying to date for a while and I feel really lonely. You know, like that. Well, it happens to all of us. Then you
That's
start
how-
gisting and you drop. No, it happens where people, so a lot of times it's actually not malicious. That's the first thing, but it still doesn't make it any less wrong or any less terrible.
But the reason why I don't think this is what we're talking about is the second. is the second issue.
She's just an abebelube.
She's not an abebelube.
Exactly.
It's weird. I'm sorry, it's giving weird vibes.
You don't have to follow the page.
You don't.
You're
It's
following
weird.
every guy.
But do you think someone that is big on personal development is not going to want to develop everywhere?
No, see, look. So the thing is that if she has also actually told her, look, I'm a private person and I don't like it, and you continue to do it, like at what point does this stop being?
She hasn't
told her.
So she said it in a general context. I'm really private. I'm telling you. And when she hasn't yarned her that,
fair.
and this is something in a lot of women's friendships, because we are funny enough, even when you are hurt, you're worried about the person that hurts your feelings. You're still trying to figure out, I don't want to make this awkward. I don't want her to think. Because sometimes when you're even saying, let's say Fekemi upsets me and I've spoken to Shea about it, I don't want it to now, in our conversation, make it seem like I went and told Shea. And now all these other friends are
now
looking at her funny.
Yeah.
So even in that, just to have that conversation might be tough. But the thing about good friendships is they grow from things like this. You talk. You have to tell her that, look, we're about to have a conversation that's going to make you feel somehow. But don't worry, the rack is not eternal. I just need us to fix this thing now.
This is such a nice way to put it. Because when I'm talking to my friends,
because you've done it multiple times. For somebody that runs away from conflict, she has to start like that.
Are you mad? What sort of rubbish is
And they won't be surprised.
Yeah.
If she goes to meet this friend and says, are you mad?
No, obviously they don't have that charisma. If it's me, I'll just be like, sorry, who said it? What's your problem?
Yes. And again, the other friend might feel the instinct to be defensive. No, but I didn't tell a stranger now. I was telling.
Yeah.
It's sometimes really difficult to get to the point where somebody now says, Mabi, I'm sorry, I didn't realize that I was crossing certain boundaries. I won't do it anymore.
I think you also have to know like your friend's intentions as well. Like, for example, like you just mentioned that like your friend might not be doing it. You also know the characteristics of your friend. Like, you know that maybe she's just like even sharing it with someone else. You'd be like, is she okay? Being on a caring kind of vibe. But she might actually not know that what she's doing is like weird or somehow. So I feel like also knowing your friend, their characteristics, their demeanor. Some friends actually just yarn. They actually just like to talk a lot. Like they're just chatterboxes. Like I'm just like, you talk a lot and we might just need to rein it in a bit.
Yeah. I don't think it's as big a deal. Like you imagine the fight.
I think it's
big. Just communicate your boundaries. And then if she now doesn't listen, then that's.
And also another thing is friends that like gist. So if you tell her I won't tell you anything again, she says, sorry. No, I'm being serious. Friends that like gist, if you say, do you know what? I won't tell you, sorry. I won't tell anybody again.
It's too funny because I was talking to a friend that likes gist and we were catching up on the nature of gist that's going on. Just like, this is what, as in, this was not a personal catch up about like, how are you? This was the nature of, so what is on ground, amongst everybody that we know. And we were gisting and then we got to a place and I asked her, so you said, I know that one, I can't say. I said, okay, so you have it. You have it. She was like, no.
No, it's true.
She was like, on this note, no, I must bow
And
out.
I like it.
I was laughing because I was like, after we've been talking for like 1 hour, then your conscience just kicked in just now. But I think the truth is people need to be able to discuss more. Because if she's actually a good friend of yours and this is like the only thing that is wrong, it is.
It might not also.
It might be solvable.
Yes, it might not also be on you to realize that you might be able to share to a certain extent with this friend. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Because you enjoy the friendship. Now you share to the point that you don't mind people finding out. So maybe you don't mind people knowing that there's trouble. Mm-hmm. But the nature of the trouble is something. And
the truth is, the thing is, people. Like now, I know the friends that if I tell them A, their husband knows A. I know the friends that if I tell them A, B, C, their husband knows A. He does not know B and C. So like, I know the friends that their husband will still ask me, sorry, how, like they've not even told them any. So you know who people are is the truth of the matter. And I feel like at some point we have to just accept that this is the way this person is. And this is just what it is.
But have the conversation for sure. Don't ignore it. Yeah.
Anyways, moving on back to the Femmes. I feel like I'm going to keep saying
the Femmes?
Yeah, for a long time.
Yeah. Where did the name come from?
Oh my Jesus. The idea came, like, I knew that I wanted to do a show with just women. So I'm like, hey, God, they're like, write down names. I wrote She Sings.
Not She Sings.
her voice. There's something I did not write down. And I think I saw a playlist and it was like Femme something. And then I was like, you know, like we have an email that's like Femme Lagos. Yeah. And then I was like, Femme Africa. That has a ring to it. So we kind of, you know.
She sings. Her voice.
She sings.
Yeah, I'm not like you. Her voice first could never have banged. Let me just.
Her voice first.
It could never.
That does not sound like
no.
a
I have to be honest. Also, sorry, can we reduce the AC?
Oh, please leave the vent. Yeah, I'm not feeling it.
I just want to yarn you that her voice first. Let me know. Like, thank God for because she sings.
No, that's a terrible.
Terrible.
What?
Yeah, process of elimination.
So it started with the show.
Yes, it was a small, tiny show. I think, well, there was 66 people, and I was very surprised because we didn't have any social media. Like, we had never done it before, and it was names that a lot of people wouldn't have known.
When was this? What year?
December 2018.
Okay.
So it'll be 5 years in December.
Yeah.
Which is crazy. So yeah, it was that. And I was kind of like, okay. Funny enough, it came about in therapy. I hated my job. I hated just what I was doing. And like my therapist was kind of like, so what do you like? And I'm like, woman. She's like, what else? I'm like, music. And then she's like, okay, you've said that you want to do this thing. Why don't you do it? I'm like, a show, it's going to be so expensive, blah, blah, blah. So I kind of found out how much it was to hire a band. And I think that was the first cost. It was like 100K, I think. And then like the venue at the time, it was like my friend's dad and they were like, oh, they're not going to charge us, which changed later. But for the story, you know, they weren't going to charge us. I was like, okay, 120K. So I put my brother and 3 of his best friends in a group chat and I was like, look, I need this show, blah, blah, blah. And everybody except my brother donated. Normal. And then another person was just like, okay, like I'll pay for this band. And like, that's, you know, what it was. It was after my sister's wedding and yeah, people came and I was like, okay. Then everyone's like, when's the next one? When's the next one? And that's how it started. And fun fact, our very first show, we had Thames when she had one song and she debuted Looky Look for the first time at the show. So we've been on this journey.
Yeah, that's really, really interesting. I think because we don't actually have a thriving live music scene in Lagos, so everybody talks about the same places. It's Bogobiri, I don't know anywhere else really.
But I think it's kind of changed since then. So even like the way we used to go to Burger for open mic night, I think maybe once or twice. It's no longer the thing. I mean, it is for it depends, yeah.
It wasn't Wednesday.
People still go, but it used to be. Yeah, it used to be a thing. Like I used to go all the time, and now it's sort of, I'm not really sure where.
What or where. It's died down a bit.
Yeah. No, my experience with Burger, God forgive me. one guy that I've loved, I really had a crush on him for so long. He now posted it on Thursday and I'm like, really? I was on the way there. I was like, speed up, let's get change, walk close, run. And it clicked. So long story from there.
Fair enough. I have the opposite.
It's close to my heart.
I very much saw somebody perform in open mic night. I said to my friend, my dear Les, no, nothing. Don't worry. It's very important for us to know where to meet you. Because meant to be, oh my gosh, I came to support you. I said I couldn't make it. Because it was revealing.
Oh no, wait. Did you have a crush on the person that was performing?
We were already even inside the talking stage, absolutely. But I had never seen him perform before. You know, and it was like a musical poetry.
Oh my God.
Let me not lie to you. I was like, this is actually the reason you have to keep something separate.
So what was your message to him after? Like, how did you end it?
I refused to talk about the art. I refused to talk about the art. And then it just became, you know, I'm not really ready to be all this one. Yeah. And then I think I said I was celibate.
Oh my God.
That will do it.
That very much did it for him. He was just like, this wala. It's not lucky, but let me not lie to you. I saw that open mic. I said, and I'll be telling my friends, I can't even post it. I was just, do you know the kind of thing you can't even post on your Instagram story? Based support you.
So, would you date an artist that was
just about to say the careers I wouldn't date.
That can't click?
Or cannot click, rapper, basketball, any sort of athlete. politician, because also what if you lose? Like, so I don't know.
Oh my God.
I don't know what that like condolence conversation looks like. I don't like losers. I know people who lose. People who lose.
I know how you
I think it's just awkward.
I know that you think that clarification was helpful. I want you to know that clarification has made it worse.
She doesn't have the spirit of encouragement.
You know what made me shy that day? He was terrible.
No,
he was bad. And the thing about it is, he was like so confidently bad. You know the kind of person that thinks all of you don't get it? No, I was shy.
If I fundamentally believe in you, we move. But
Lick, you're lying.
Leke has that one ick that will always tease her. In Goda, if one guy was doing swimming lessons, how can you be doing swimming lessons as a man?
Guys, we went to Goda at 2 p.m. on a weekday.
I feel like that's awkward.
We didn't know that.
You swim.
First of all, why can't you swim? No, just have a front home or a club. Not Goda.
For you to be
I
swimming.
was there eating my oxtail. This man is just diving. I'm like, no.
I can't like for you to be swimming in the middle of a restaurant. It's somehow.
The only problem is in the middle of the day, don't travel.
No, it's not
That's the only issue I have.
Look, there's so many things that somehow, and that is somehow.
Do you know these Gen Z babes are terrible?
We were there having a
Jola,
business
are you telling me that
meeting.
you be fine with it? What? If I just call you that, Jola, your guy, I'm having lunch. Your guy is on floaters, jumping in. They're telling him, kick.
Breathe. Come on, breathe.
Okay, you mastered that one. We'll now do butterfly.
Swimming, learning how to swim is actually, it's very awkward.
Yes,
it's very awkward.
It's really awkward.
You're splashing, you're trying to come up for air. Not your man.
You look crazy.
Yeah,
you look a little crazy.
Yeah.
No, but you guys are terrible.
No,
I'm sorry, that's just
You guys are terrible. But because the live scene in Lagos is not thriving, and even, this is really random, but I remember when I was obsessed with not general stand-up comedy, Nigerian stand-up comedy.
There was a time that
like
it was
Night
too
of a
funny.
Thousand Laughs.
Yeah.
I had like 10 CDs. I had this worry something.
Yeah.
I had
Yeah.
at a point my mom was just like, that's when my pigeon got a bit ridiculous. And my mom was like, okay, do you know what? I'm paying a lot of money for your school fees.
Can't be talking like
you
this.
can't be talking like somebody that they bundled off a damn for a few hours ago. So I remember like just thinking, and it seemed like there was always an avenue for people to like develop their skill. Now, apart from churches, to be honest, if you're a musician who wants to test out your voice, or there's nothing, and you cannot go to church and now say, this is called Leave My Man. But let's just think the man is the Holy Spirit. That's what I mean. Like, you can't, so there isn't a lot of room. And then the music industry is male dominated. Producers, A&Rs, the musicians
Because people look
themselves.
at, it's dominated with the artist, and I'm like, look behind.
No.
Look at the back.
Yeah.
That's where you start seeing that. See, you can't name them.
The producers,
And it's global. It's not even Nigeria is worse, but it's
a
so global.
vibe.
I think it's like 2% or 3% of producers are female.
Yeah.
So that's ridiculous to start with. And I was saying how like even when you want to start something and you want to work with people, like you're trying to first think about people you know. And I know someone who entered the industry quite young, and she was working with a male producer who was like older, and is like, sorry, can I kiss you? And it's kind of like you've begged your mom to bring you here, blah, blah, blah. And that puts the person off doing anything for a very, very long time.
Tell us about FemFest before we go. Like what's happening this year?
Okay, so FemFest this year, super exciting. We're starting off the day with some education. So we have 2 panels, one about protecting yourself legally. Second one is about everything that goes into making a hit. So if you're a music person, come on, we talk about distribution, all of that stuff. And then we have a series of workshops. We have a content creation one. If you're a content creator, just basically to learn about that.
We have one on starting a podcast as well. So podcasters come on board. We have one on songwriting, on producing music, Music 101. So Yeah, we're moving away from sort of like the focus being on music to like a
Other
whole day of
things, yeah.
experiences. So, like
And then we end it with the live show.
workshops.
But then we also have activities for you to do during the day. So you can get tattoos, body paint, candle making. All of these are sponsored, so they're basically all free. And then my favorite thing, you can shop from 37 amazing female-owned brands. So come with your wallet ready to support women.
And one thing that we're really, really also excited about is we're going to have this thing called the beauty market.
Oh my God, Shubami will
first of all,
kill me.
the Femmes, we love beauty. We love beauty. So the beauty market essentially is an installation, and you're going to be able to shop beauty brands. There are 5 in there, but you're also going to be able to touch up your makeup.
African-owned.
You're going to be able to touch up your makeup. It's going to be lit very nicely. You can take your pictures. We're giving out freebies, samples. I don't want
International.
No, these ones are in demand. We've been fighting about them in
Starts
the office.
with a T and ends with an S.
Yeah. It's pink also. And they go on
They
their
have
eyes.
a product called Faded.
So you're going to get that for free.
I'll be looking for a wolf.
Okay, so
Yeah.
date and time.
March 25th.
Ticket prices.
March 25th from 2 p.m. at Harbour Point, Victoria Island. Tickets are 10K general admission. Well, we only have general admission. But if you're a student, we're doing a woo for you. So 5K, but you have to bring your student ID.
I'm actually a student.
And then you can
of
also
life.
come with your friends. There's 4 tickets for 25K as well. So we
I
have
really
that.
like
that.
that.
It's called
Girls.
But I feel like now we should call it the Femmes.
You should have called it. I was about to say that you should probably change it to the Femme.
Okay, so there's 10K regular tickets, 5K for students, and if you are
Four
for
people.
four friends is 25K.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay,
Buy
fantastic.
tickets on Tix or Deela, DEELA.com, and you can also buy on the day. On
I
site.
was at the
Kubuku
last
don't have
one.
what you are doing anyway. So
I
you
was at
might
the
as
last
well
one and
go.
I had a swell time. A few people knelt to greet me, but
That's what I was going to say that. I want all of you feeling shy for being there.
I didn't care. Myself, Ozzy, we did not give it a hot damn.
Honestly, it's a fantastic
We had such a
time.
good time, and the vibe was so.
Listen, we're
great.
going to be there, so it's going to be a
I'm
lot
very,
of
very
fun at the end of the day.
Yeah. Even though they don't ask us to come and talk about podcasts.
But you know what? Femmes. At the end of the day, we're all
Whatever,
femmes.
support the youth.
We're all femmes, so
Yeah,
women
but
supporting women anyway.
This has been fantastic. I'm so glad you guys came on.
Thank
Lots
you.
of fun.
Yeah. And where can they find like if you guys want it to be personal or like Femme itself,
Yeah.
where can people find either one?
So at Femme Africa, FemmeAfricaa
On Instagram.
on Instagram. Also at FemFest 23 for the festival. At FemMag for our magazine. So at Femme Africa, at FemMag, at FemFest 23.
And on Twitter, we're Femme Africa.
Very good.
Yay.
Just type in Femme. One of the 3.
I feel like there's so many pages that you surely.
And then you can find the rest
you
from
surely-
the whatever.
Also, are you guys
find.
hiring? People always ask us about this. I don't know, like why.
People like what our
Seriously,
guests
they
talk
like.
about.
They
so.
like. You
We're
know,
always hiring, and we also hire for other
people.
No, I'm
creative.
laughing because someone said on their story that this office that they wear nets are miniskirt.
And they were like, they want to apply.
Sure, I won't work there. And I'm wearing nets today.
We're always looking for women.
fair.
Like we said, if you have any ideas, pitch us. Just like you can find all the links in our bios.
Yeah, everyone I've
just
actually
write
ever
to
hired
us.
has just DM'd me.
Yeah, fair enough.
And I moved from
Fantastic.
there.
All right, guys, as usual, you know what to do. All this follow, like,
Yeah,
subscribe,
whatever.
all these
Anyway,
things. Use the hashtag on Twitter, one thing, and then hopefully
buy
we'll see.
FemFest tickets.
Yeah,
Yes,
Go
please.
Yeah.
to FemFest.
Yeah.
That's it.
All right. Have a great time and goodbye.